It has indeed been 3 months, 3.5 to be precise, and I started this channel from scratch completely. If you're new here, this is my second channel where I talk about the YouTube journey and the emotional element of it, of being human and trying to navigate doing YouTube. But I have had another channel for about 5 years, so I'm not new to the platform at all, but I did want to experiment with what will it look like for me to start something completely fresh, clean slate, and a very clear niche from the very beginning, which is not something that I did with my first channel. So it's been 3.5 months of this new channel that specializes in talking about YouTube strategy, tips, my experience of doing it as an introvert, as someone who balances it with a full-time commitment. Before it was my job in consulting. At the moment, it's a degree. And all of that emotional stuff that comes up when you face the slow growth, the insecurity, the doubts, all of that stuff I talk about here. I thought it would be interesting to actually look at the facts and the hard analytics and tell you what it's looking like 3.5 months in. If you're starting your YouTube channel yourself, if you're thinking about it, or if you're just nosy. I'm going to talk to you about what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and kind of my feelings around it all, how I feel I'm doing in comparison to my first channel and how it was going over there. So if I'm looking to the side, it's because I have my laptop there and I have the analytics there. So we're in the YouTube studio, and first of all, some overview. I've had in this time a grand total of 1,940 views. It's not much at all, but every little helps. I've posted 21 videos, so I've calculated, and that means I've posted around 1.3 videos per week. This is because, first of all, I launched my channel with 3 videos at once, just spread out with 5-minute buffers. And I've talked previously about why. And I've also aimed to post more than once a week. I ideally wanted to do 2 per week, but it kind of varied depending on how my life was looking, what I was up to, how things were with my other channel, all of that stuff. So we've been on track, I would say, with my consistency. I really wanted to just not dip below 1 per week for this channel. For my first channel, I was kind of willing to drop it down to 1 per 2 weeks, just to allow myself space to focus on both this and that one. In this time, I have gained 47 subscribers. Out of them, one is my other channel, so 46 subscribers. The good thing is that I have not really shared this channel at all. I don't think my friends follow me here. I don't think my family follow me here. You could pretty much say that they're just found by the YouTube algorithm. So that's a good thing. We're starting with some very clear avatar, I think, that I'm targeting, even though arguably I could get much more specific within the YouTube niche, because the YouTube niche is now also very saturated. I think my next stage of this niching down is realizing what is my advantage in this space, what makes me different, unique and quirky in some way. Maybe it's the stuff around talking about being an introvert and doing content creation. Maybe it's stuff around balancing it with a 9-to-5 commitment. All of that stuff, I think I need to really make more succinct so that I know what is my unique selling point. Maybe it's the way that I talk about things candidly and informally, and like we're sitting together in a cafe and you're a friend. Anyway, my click-through rate on average has been 2%. It's not ideal, but it could be worse. So honestly, I'll take it. What I want to tell you also, having looked at all of this, obviously the views are kind of, they're low. Of course they're low. I've not had any videos go viral. However, what I would say is this is doing miles better than my first channel was doing when I started it. And the reason why, I think, first of all, YouTube currently, I feel this is not based on facts, but I think it gives a push to small, just new channels generally, especially if they have a very clear niche. So I saw that in the few weeks after I've launched my channel, actually my videos were getting very decent exposure and reach. And I think that is completely different to what the landscape and the platform was behaving like when I started back in 2020 or 2021. Actually, I'm not too sure at this point. The views that I have, yes, they sound low, but they're actually way, way, way better than a lot of the videos that I was posting were doing even half a year in on my first channel. What I can see in my graph, I'll insert a screenshot here, is that every time I posted a video, I had a spike of views. What that's telling me is that at the moment, my views gain and my subscriber gain is very directly linked to how much I post. Of course, the spikes are different height, I suppose, because different videos do differently. But I'm not yet getting the stage of YouTube where some of your back catalog is acquiring views randomly. So you will see that all those spikes are quite single and individual, and you don't really see a video reappearing later down the line. However, what I know for sure from my other channel is that this will start happening as time goes on. There will be times where a video from before, an older one, even from months and years before, can actually start popping off and doing suddenly very well. I've had that happen to me on my other channel, and that's where I got most of my subscribers from. And over there, I'm over the 1,000 subscribers threshold, so it's also a very, very small channel. But, you know, it's hit that big milestone. I'm very happy about it. Let's look at the stuff that has really, really worked. First of all, my top performing videos. The top one, based on views, if we judge it based on views, is it just me burning out on YouTube? Oh my god, the biggest lesson from this video is that this is probably the lowest effort video that I have on my channel. If you don't laugh, you cry. Because the other ones that I've put way more effort into, that I've put way more editing time into, that I planned and structured, were just not as high performing. And it's ironic, and I've heard this a lot from other people, that sometimes it's the ones that are just very off the cuff, very raw and very unfiltered, and you literally get an inspiration, you get an idea, you talk to camera, you quickly edit it, do a very rough edit, put it out there, and then just don't overthink it. Those are the videos that often do well for people, and this is very much an example of that. It's a hard lesson to realize because, of course, we want to do YouTube the right way. You want to follow the rule book. You want to do the best practice things with titles, thumbnails, everything. Sometimes that means that you get into the spiral of overthinking, which I've been going down regularly. But when I don't, sometimes that stuff really resonates. That video was thought of, recorded, edited, and published within half a day. Not even spending the entire half a day on that. It probably took a few hours end to end in total. I hope that's something useful for you to know, that my top performing video is the one that took the least effort. My second top video based on views is I wasted 5 years on YouTube so you don't have to. This tells me two things. One is I have some sort of credibility in the title there. And I think that's partly why it was doing better than other videos. It's people see that and they know that, okay, she's not just chatting random stuff. She has been on the platform for that long. So perhaps even if her channel is small and whatever, at least she has some experience. And that is valuable. Second thing that is telling me is that that title was inspired by something that I saw doing well for other creators. The format of I did this so you don't have to, or I wasted that much time doing this so you don't have to, is something like a formula, I guess, a title formula that I saw doing well at the time. And I decided that let me quickly film this and release it in the next couple of weeks so that it doesn't become outdated. And I think that worked. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work to take a title that someone else has and adjust it and adapt it for you. Sometimes by the time you've posted, people are tired of seeing it. Or maybe it's a combination of factors that led to that video doing well. And just the title alone is not really going to work. It's, again, hard to pinpoint exactly what worked, but I suspect it's these two things. Next up, 1 view is enough, brackets. Yes, really. Again, this is a formula that I saw working for others. I saw it was a very random channel that was posting screen recordings of playing video games while talking about YouTube growth, and the title was simply 1 view is enough. It made me stop scrolling, and when I have moments like that, when I see a video that stops me scrolling and I want to click on it, I sometimes note it down as an idea in my Notion, and I think of how can I make that video idea with my own way. I don't often watch the video itself, but I look at the packaging and I note it down. Simplicity of that title, I think, is what really captured me. And also playing to the, I guess, the fear or the frustration that a lot of us have, content creators on YouTube, struggling with low views and really wanting to do well and really wanting to succeed. It's validating the fact that, first of all, if you're getting any views at all, you're fine. And secondly, not only is it fine, but it's like actually enough. That speaks to so many people, and that pain point that we have. And I think that's what makes them click, because they want that reassurance. They want that thing that gives them hope to keep going, even if they're seeing low views at the moment. So that, I think, is what worked. Yeah, so those are the top 3. And that is based on views. Like I said, the thing I want to look at now is actually, where did I get most of my subscribers from? Actually, somewhat different. So the top video, which got me 6 of my subscribers, is how introverts are quietly blowing up on YouTube. This is something that was, I'm pretty sure, a combination of maybe some version of a title that I've been seeing about how blah blah are blowing up on YouTube. But I combined it with introverts, which is my own addition because I'm an introvert and I wanted to talk about that experience. It's also a longer video. It's probably one of the longest that I have, 22 minutes long, the longest one that I have. I think what it tells me is that niching down within the niche is good. So being a content creator that talks about content creation is no longer enough, because there's so many of us. But being someone who's introverted and is navigating YouTube through that is something that makes people think, I can resonate, I can relate to that experience, I want to know more. It basically adds a layer of differentiation to something that is now super saturated, which is the YouTube niche. And I think that is why among the top 3 videos of the ones that brought me subscribers, the top one is this one. The second one is 1 view is enough, yes really, just because I think that did generally well. And the third one is the honest truth of juggling YouTube with a full-time job. Again, another layer of differentiation. Not only are you someone who creates on YouTube, you're someone who does it with a full-time job alongside. And there I talk about me combining YouTube with my job in consulting, and now also doing a university degree that is very, very full on. To sum it up, I think the things that really work are niching down within the niche, differentiating yourself, applying your own lens to things and making sure that you stand out among the saturated niche, which is almost every niche these days. Secondly, doing your research, seeing what title, thumbnail formulas work for others, and then adjusting it for you and for what works for your channel. Finally, sometimes the videos that you question the most, that you think are underproduced, unpolished, are the ones that do really well and resonate with people because they're genuine and they're human. So that's what clicks with people right now. What did not work? From my own observation of how my channel has been doing, thing number 1 that didn't work is overthinking the title and trying to go with the most search optimized one. I think it's because people are getting tired of that. It's no longer enough to catch someone's attention. I think before it was the land of keywords and SEO, but at the moment, I think most videos that you click on are not from you searching, but they're actually from you just scrolling, at least in my experience. And that means that the thing that catches people's attention is something that is emotionally resonant, something that addresses a pain point, something that really catches attention rather than being optimized for keywords. Secondly, what didn't work is also looking at every single video in isolation. I talked about this on the channel a few times before, but it's so easy to be discouraged if you're a small creator, if you're just starting out, by looking at every single video, and if you see a video flop, you just think you're doing something wrong. Statistically, most videos will flop. And then a select few, a lucky few, will do well. So I think what I've been really trying to focus on with this channel has been putting in the reps and knowing that if I keep going, if I keep thinking, planning, ideating, and eventually gradually improving, it will come. I just don't know exactly when, where, what videos. Sometimes it's random. Sometimes it's a combination of so many factors that you cannot really predict. What I would tell you based on this is if I look at my worst performing videos, 25 views is my lowest at the moment. That does not feel nice, especially after you've had a video with 271 and you think that, okay, I'm going up, and then You think you're going up and then something flops again and you're like, oh, was that just a fluke? No, it wasn't. It was not a fluke. And what you need to do is maintain composure and resilience and dedication to just showing up. Just keep showing up. Be consistent. There's no concrete science to this, and YouTube is evolving all the time because it's consumed by people and it's made by people, and naturally it's not maths, right? Sometimes a video does well and you're like, well, I could not have told you that beforehand. Of course, retrospectively you can see it, you can rationalize. You just have to keep that student mindset, keep learning all the time and noticing. That's my summary. If that was useful, I also have my 5 biggest mistakes from 5 years on YouTube. Boy, did I do a lot wrong. So that is written completely from my brain. No use of AI at all, just me and my very human experience of doing YouTube for 5 years. It is completely free. You can download that via the link in the description. And I think you will enjoy watching this video next, which is my best performing video on this channel. In case you're curious about feeling like you're burning out on YouTube, you can see that over here. I will see you there. Bye.